Hello everyone, this is YVR. Welcome to YVR Maths Tutorial. So far, we have studied about indefinite integrals and various methods to integrate them. Now, we will study definite integrals of a function. So, in this video, I am going to discuss about definite integrals concept. To understand this concept, you should know basic definitions and basic properties of indefinite integrals. If you did not watch my earlier classes, follow the links from the description cards. To understand this concept easily, watch this video till the end. A remarkable development in the evaluation of definite integrals was the introduction of the concept of antiderivative leading to the fundamental theorem of calculus. So this theorem establishes the logical connection between differentiation and integration. Now let us discuss the definition or statement of fundamental theorem of integral calculus. If f is integrable on closed interval a comma b and if there exists a differentiable function capital F such that d by dx of capital F of x is equal to small f of x on closed interval a comma b, then integral a to b f of x dx is equal to capital F of b minus capital F of a. This is the statement or definition of fundamental theorem of integral calculus. This formula is called Newton-Leibniz formula because the principles of integration were formulated independently by Isaac Newton and Leibniz in the late 17th century, who thought of the integral as an infinite sum of rectangles of infinitesimal width. So that's why we are calling this is Newton-Leibniz formula. So see here, I am giving the mathematicians Newton and Leibniz photos also. These two mathematicians are founders of integral calculus. Now, let us discuss how can we use this fundamental theorem for evaluation of definite integrals. In previous classes, we have already discussed about various methods of evaluating indefinite integrals using the antiderivative concept. Now, we can make use of those methods and the fundamental theorem of calculus to evaluate definite integrals. Let f of x be a continuous function on closed interval a comma b and capital F of x be an antiderivative of small f of x on open interval a comma b. That is, by the definition of antiderivative, integral small f of x dx is equal to capital F of x plus c. Then the value capital F of b minus capital F of a can be taken as the value of definite integral of small f on closed interval a comma b. It is denoted by integral a to b f of x dx. So as per this discussion, this can be written as integral small f of x dx is equal to capital F of x plus c on closed interval a comma b. That implies integral a to b f of x dx is equal to capital F of b minus capital F of a. For the sake of convenience, capital F of b minus capital F of a is denoted by the symbol capital F of x a to b. So, as per the definition of antiderivative and a fundamental theorem of integral calculus, this can be written as integral a to b f of x dx is equal to capital F of x plus c a to b. Here, capital F of x plus c is the antiderivative of small f of x. Now, after finding the value of antiderivative of capital F at the upper limit b and the value of same antiderivative at the lower limit a, this can be written as the antiderivative of capital F at the upper limit b minus the antiderivative of capital F at the lower limit a. Then the next step is capital F of b plus c minus capital F of a plus c. So here capital F of b plus c is the value of antiderivative of capital F at the upper limit. The second term f of a plus c is the value of antiderivative capital F at the lower limit a. If you multiply the second term with minus, then what you will get? See here in the next step, capital F of b plus c minus capital F of a minus c. Here plus c minus c get cancelled, then the final term is capital F of b minus capital F of a. So this term integral a to b small f of x dx is equal to capital F of b minus capital F of a. In other words, this we can tell that integral a to b f of x dx is equal to value of antiderivative capital F of small f at the upper limit b minus value of the same antiderivative at the lower limit a. If you observe here, in antiderivative concept, we used the constant, integral constant c. But here, if you observe in this calculation part, the term c cancelled here. So what we can say by observing this discussion, since the value of the definite integral does not depend on arbitrary constant c, so we need not consider any arbitrary constant c, and we need not consider any arbitrary constant in its evaluation. So this discussion is called evaluation of definite integrals by using the fundamental theorem of integral calculus. By the concept of fundamental theorem of integral calculus, the definite integral can be defined as integral a to b f of x dx is equal to capital F of b minus capital F of a. So this only we discussed till now. In this symbol, integral a to b f of x dx, what is a, what is b, and what is x? Now I will explain about this symbol. In the symbol, integral a to b f of x dx, x is called variable of integration. Here, b is called upper limit, and here a is called lower limit. And the closed interval a comma b is the range of the variable of integration x. That means the value x should lies between in this interval small a to small b. Okay students, so this is about integral a to b f of x dx. So this is the concept of definite integrals. I hope you understand. Based on this concept, we will solve some problems in the next video. To get updated videos as a notification, subscribe this channel and activate bell icon. Thank you for watching this video. Do like and give a comment and share with your friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.